Peace and assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'm going to try to talk loud, but I am exhausted. Eat my Luna bar. This thing is hard being in this cold car. I'm just getting off of work. It's like 12 o'clock at night. There's snowing outside. They said it was going to be a blizzard, but this isn't exactly a blizzard. Alhamdulillah. But it's messy nonetheless. So I'm going to take it slow. At least they have been plowing here in the parking lot of the facility where I work. And I'm glad they didn't mess up my car, because I used to work at another place about maybe 5 or so years ago. It snowed and those bums busted up. Well, it wasn't mine. My ex-husband, I had his Jeep Cherokee, and I don't have my lights on. I had Jeep Cherokee, and the facility hit it. It was pretty messed up too. Like it cost over $900 to get it fixed. And you know, those bums would not compensate. And in Pennsylvania, I do not like driving in this edge. This is a hill. In Pennsylvania, it's been my experience that people like to do things very much by the book. I ain't loving this hill. Damn it, why did I move into this area? I'm gonna take this slow. So I get scared. I mean, this is not even what I planned on doing this video about. First of all, let me do a prayer. So anyway, I get really nervous because some years back, I know I've mentioned this in another video before, but I actually almost slid into the Susquehanna River. And it wasn't even snow, it was black ice. So I get really scared. And then where I live now, the town I live, they have really steep hills. And so when I first moved to the area, I think it must have been my first winter there, I was trying to go down this hill. It was so scary. I'm surprised I didn't just start crying. Oh, it was so scary. So now I avoid hills like the plague. But this is my first time leaving work in these sort of conditions. So I didn't realize. But anyway, point of me doing this video, aside from needing to talk to take my mind off all this stuff, I am, let me tell you, I love my aides. I'm always very supportive of my aides. I'm not like a lot of nurses. I used to be a nurse's aide, and I swore then that when I became a nurse, I was not going to be how a lot of nurses tend to be. Like, they don't want to get their hands dirty sort of thing. They don't want to answer call bells. They don't do anything. That is not the way I am. It's not the way I've ever been as a nurse. I'm always there, down by law, as they used to say a long time ago. I'm telling my age. But, cool, no problem. And I understand that AIDS, what the heck is this? I don't even know if I'm on the right side of the road. I understand that AIDS, for the most part, do much more one-on-one care than I do, because they help with the ADLs and all that kind of thing. And then right now, of course, I'm not doing skills care. I'm doing assisted living, which quite honestly, a lot of the people over here in assisted need to be in skills care. But I get all that about the AIDS and everything. But I want to tell you something that unfortunately is very common in nursing homes, at least. I don't know about hospitals and all that, but in long-term care, my God, like AIDS, it's like, and now medtechs, working with medtechs, child, they are forever trying to do your job, do a nurse's job, like seriously. Again, I understand that aides do more one-on-one care, and so I think that because of that, a lot of the times they feel like they can undermine the nurse and go over our heads or whatever, or tell you diagnose a resident. And it's like, listen, I understand you absolutely know better than I do how they like to, have their food season, or the little nuances of, how they like certain things done, or all that sort of thing. Or if you've been working with this patient longer than I have, or this resident longer than I have, yes, there'll be some things that you'll know about this person as an individual. But when it comes to medical diagnosis, medical care, and all that kind of thing, chances are an aide is just not going to know as much as a nurse. Certainly if that nurse has been doing it for a while. I will give you some examples. I can't tell you how many times like an aide will tell me, be like freaking out, like, oh my God, she's having a stroke because she never did this before. Look how she's leaning over on the chair, and look at this and look at this and look at that. But there's like zero symptoms of CVA, like zero. Or especially with COVID now, oh my God, you think every little thing is COVID. If a resident coughs, COVID, you get tested. Like, yeah, but they literally have no symptoms. Well, he could be asymptomatic, or you could be wrong, just different things. Or instead of coming to the nurse to tell the nurse that something is, going wrong, like something is not right with a resident, they will instead contact the supervisor or the DON instead of coming to you. And so then the supervisor or the DON comes to you like, oh yeah, I was told such and such and such, and you're like, oh, they didn't say anything to me, So then now, I don't know why they do that sort of thing, but that looks like a blight on them, not on you, because they did not follow. Oh, I think I'm in the wrong lane. They did not follow chain of command, So that's a problem. And it's a problem if your team is not moving as a team. There should not be any competition going on. There shouldn't be any underhandedness going on. Or, it's just, I'm going to tell you, in a nursing home, so I've been working in long-term care for 10 years now. These chicks can be catty sometimes. Do you hear me? Oh my God, it's just, It's ridiculous. And of course, I'm bringing all this up because I had a couple of situations tonight. When I worked this particular, I worked the entire building, the entire assisted living department. No, why is this car? And so, why this car? Tell this car to go in. So I work all the floors in assisted living, and whenever I work this particular floor, oh, swiftful God, they're always coming to me about an emergency that's not really an emergency, or if it is an actual incident that's going down, it's not as bad or not as major as they're making it out to be. And that annoys me. Like, I don't say anything because, you know, I don't want to be mean or anything like that. But I see I'm going to have to say something because tonight was just uncalled for. And it's one of those situations where it was a couple of things. There's a couple of things. Two residents that were not, their situations were not as they were presented by my team. And so I don't want to say too much because I you know, can't put out personal stuff out there into the world. You know, HIPAA. But anyway, there were there were really like 3 situations just tonight in one shift. Oh my God. And you know, it just wasn't cool. And so I'm feeling like I'm going to have to say something as nice as possible. If they don't want to accept nice, we could do that too. But that's just not really how I roll. But I'm going to have to say something because it went over my head. Did not follow chain of command. And it's unnecessary. And I've had the same sort of, well, not the same issue with the same people, but it built up to this. Now that I'm thinking about it, it built up to this by the same people. Not cool. So yeah, man, let me just say, y'all may not want to hear this, but some aides who y'all do that, you really need to stop. Respectfully, if you want to be a nurse, go to school to become a nurse. Get the training, get the education, get the experience. But until then, we all have our places. You know, you're not going to see too many nurses trying to, you know, do doctor work. We have our positions, period. We all have our position. We all have our parts to make up the whole. And I really need to chill. I remember I used to work at another place, and I can remember the aides would be so mad at me because they was legit come in to work, start a shift. Did you get such and such and such an Ativan? Because I'm not trying to hear all that noise tonight. No one giving nobody. I don't give out narcotics for no reason. And they would like be so pissed off. I'm sure they used to talk mess behind my back, you know, among each other. Because you have the reason, in my opinion, the reason why, in my opinion, and based upon things that I saw, a lot of the nurses are like that. 'Cause I've actually heard nurses say that. So they come in and they're like, oh, I'm about to get this to them. Or say if someone had a routine Ativan. Ativan, if you don't know, is for like anxiety and stuff. And it's a narcotic. So in long-term care, you have a lot of people, especially if you're dealing with dementia patients. But in long-term care, you have a lot of people who have what is termed behaviors, which means they do things which could be, which is like, it could be, it's usually based on their illness. Sorry, I know this. It's usually based on or due to their illness and or medication that they're taking for their illness. And so it will cause them to be certain ways. Like they may be very like aggressive, want to hit you, punch you. It may make them spit. Believe it or not, there are medications that will make people spit at you and stuff. It'll make them hit you. It'll make them curse you out. It'll make them just like scream like half the night. But there are also a lot of behaviors that are not due to that. It's just the resident wants to be that way. And so, you know, they'll have prescribed for them certain narcotics like Ativan. And so a lot of the time, nursing staff don't want to deal with that. You know, it's like, I don't feel like hearing them yelling all damn night, give them an Ativan, whether it's routine or, you know, PRN as needed. They want to they come in, if the person could be quiet as a church mouse, they don't care. They're going to give them an Ativan because they don't want them to start having behaviors and, you know, damper their time at work. And so, say if I had a resident scheduled for something and then they didn't want to take it, first of all, we're not allowed to force people to take medications. It is their right to refuse a medication. So there's that. I'm not going to force anybody. They say they don't want it, I'll, you know, ask. I'll try like 3 times is my normal. It could be 3 times at that one time me coming in, or if they're agitated or whatever, I'll leave and wait a little while, let them calm down. Maybe they change their mind or whatever, and I ask them again. But if they're adamant that they don't want the medication, then they don't want the medication. So I would have nurses and or aides come in, and they would be hot to death that I did not give them their medication. What do you want me to do? They don't want it. Period. And it is our job to care for them in whatever state that they are in. Unfortunately, there are a whole lot of nursing staff who, I don't know, I guess they think they're there, like the residents are there on their behalf rather than vice versa. So anyway, I just kind of went off on a tangent. But now it's gotten warm. I can bite through without breaking my teeth. So anyway, I'm just tired tonight. I did 3 nights in a row, which usually is my limit, or I try not to do more than 4. So I did 3. I have 1 day off tomorrow. That's all that. And then I have 5 days on. So I'm gonna be exhausted. I don't even grind like that no more, y'all. Back in the day, I'd be pulling doubles, doing this, doing that. I'm tired. I'm sick and chasing money. I'm just tired. And then to have to deal with this type of ish. Ugh. But y'all tell me, nurses, is this common? Like in your workplace, you have to deal with this sort of thing with your age? Because it's very annoying. Not to mention, it's not good for the care of the residents. You know, we need to all be on board working as a team, in my opinion, for the welfare of the residents or of the patients. And if somebody's going over your head, or if somebody is, insistent, that is one thing. And they do this stuff in front of the residents too. Like, stop. If they are going through something and you're saying like, it's a heart attack, I can tell it's a heart attack. What do you think that's doing to the resident? Like, just everybody stay in our lanes, it will be good. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm slow moving. Lord, it's 12:12. There's no telling what time I'm gonna get my butt home. It's probably gonna be like 1:45. But anyway, that is that. This video was long enough. And hopefully I'll make it home safely to make another video another day. Peace. Cheers.